Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome in to the Stars and Pars podcast with your host, Evan Engel. Today is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. We've got 4 tournaments to cover. Why do I not know how many tournaments we have to do this week? We got the Scottish Open. We have the ISCO Championship. We have the Corn Ferry Blue Championship. We got 5 tournaments: LPGA Evian Championship, and then the Champions Tour. I don't know what that one's called, but yeah, we got 5 tournaments to cover this week. Hello, if you are new, welcome in. This is the show where golf betting meets astrology, and we have a lot of fun over here. If you're reoccurring, welcome back. I appreciate you guys all. We are real quick, cool little announcement update. I talked about it last week, but I started this podcast a year ago, once the Open hits. So we're like 2 weeks away or a week away from a year. My only goal for this podcast, besides just like having fun with it, was to like hopefully hit at least 100 subscribers on YouTube in the first year. And we just hit that mark last week. I think we're at like 107 last time I checked or something like that. Which is really cool because, again, it's not about how many subscribers or followers or whatever you have doing in whatever creative or ambitious goal you're trying to, launch off the ground. In this case, I'm trying to do a podcast about golf betting and astrology. And it's just cool because I didn't think many people, and I guess it's still kind of true, but I didn't think many people would be like into my method and like my methodology and like my process and making golf picks every single week. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported or who follows me or subscribes to the channel or has been following me on Reddit for like, I don't know, 3 years now or so. It's cool. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun doing this, and that's really what my main focus is for this. And obviously to make a little money on the side, if you're hitting good bets or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to do this full time one day. That'd be like a dream day job, I guess. I have other dreams and aspirations. I want to be a filmmaker. I want to like write scripts. I want to do that kind of thing. But golf and astrology are 2 of my other major interests. So combining them into one is, it's been really cool. And I guess I'm kind of breaking new ground in that sense. I'm sure there's been people who have used astrology for golf betting or any kind of betting in the past, but just to finally like put out a legit channel and get some sort of, following from it. I'm just really grateful. I'm really humbled by it. And I just appreciate all of you guys. So thank you very much. If you guys have been listening for however long you've been listening, I really appreciate it. So just wanted to say that, get it out of the way. Thank you again for over 100 subscribers. I guess the next goal will be 250, but in another year or whatever. We'll see how it goes. I haven't really marketed this podcast beyond Reddit, beyond TikTok, and I guess YouTube Shorts in a way, but I haven't even like, I don't know. I just don't share this with many people that I even know, just because, it's a very niche, a couple of lists of categories here that we're going after: astrology and golf. And the astrology community is very, very interesting. And the golf community is completely different than them. So combining them both, it was a leap of faith. And I guess we're here now. We're here a year later, and I feel good about it. I feel proud of what we've built so far, and look to continue to build. So just wanted to say that, get out of the way. And also, if you haven't already, you're watching this, please subscribe to the YouTube. Keep adding on to it. I'm really just trying to grow the YouTube. I'm also on Spotify if you're listening there. Follow me there. Please leave me a 5-star rating if you listen on Spotify. That helps me out a lot there, and also on Apple Podcasts. But yeah, I just appreciate anybody who supports and gives me the subscribers button. So I appreciate you guys. Let's talk about last week, you guys. Last week. All right, let's talk about that real quick. Get it out of the way because I don't want to spend too long on it. I'm still pretty upset about it. So let's see so long story short, last week sucked. Last week, I think actually I can confidently say was probably the worst week I've had this entire 2026 calendar season. Which I guess if that was the worst week I've had, I gotta be like happy about that because I mean, like, humbly, I'm not ever trying to get cocky. If you ever hear me getting cocky, call me out. I don't want to be egotistical or anything like that. This is the most humbling game in the world to both play and bet on. Um, for those who have played and both bet on. So anyway, y'all get it. We've done really well throughout, like, overall for this 2026 calendar year. We've done really well. I've lost count of how many winners we've had across all the tournaments that we cover every single week. So that being said, you're gonna have weeks like this where I literally barely hit anything. If anything, I'll go through real quick, and I'll talk about the winners. But you got to take the bad with the good, take the good with the bad. This is how it goes. So we lost a lot of units last week, but like we're still very much up for the whole year, and that's what I'm about. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Yes, some weeks can feel like a sprint where you hit a plus 15,000, outright winner or something like that. Like it happens every once in a while, but overall, it's been a good year. So we're gonna take these bad weeks with a grain of salt because it's not a big deal in my opinion. All we managed to hit last week on the DP World Tour, at least, was I gotta make sure my mic is recording because last week it did. Okay, I think it's recording. God, technology. This is also Mercury in retrograde crap. If you guys have been experiencing technological breakdowns or miscommunications or like, God forbid, like accidents, car accidents, like crap like that. Like this is when a lot of that stuff really happens because Mercury's in retrograde and it's going backwards. So Mercury is the ruler and the planet of communication and like, I guess, technology in a way, and just like thinking like that, communication, all that. So when there's a retrograde and the planet spins backwards, it's going to make a lot of our communication, our thinking processes, our technology, internet going in and out, going down, whatever. It happens more often during retrograde. So if you've experienced some of that, just know you're not crazy, and this too shall pass I think in like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. So hold tight, everybody. I'm trying to do the same because I've been having microphone issues and podcast issues and whatnot. So, all right, let's talk about last week. For the DP World Tour, I only hit Alejandro Del Rey top 20 plus 355. And also Nikolai von Dellingshausen top 30 at plus 355. That did not cover anything. Like I went pretty hard on DP World Tour, and I'll talk about the winner in a second because it's another guy I've never heard of. And this is like, I'm starting to lose count how many times this has happened on the DP World Tour, at least in the last 3 or 4 months. Like it's kind of getting crazy how unpredictable winners are coming out of the DP World Tour. But I guess like it kind of happens. But and then we also did get top UK/Ireland Marco Penge at plus 650, but he did tie it with another British player. I couldn't tell you on the top of my head. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So that was a push. So at least we got a little something back for that. And then on the DP World, or on the PGA John Deere, I got to do one of these because if you tagged my picks or tailed my picks last week, we were on Ben Coles. And if you watched, y'all saw what happened. Y'all saw, honestly, probably the biggest collapse of the entire year on the PGA Tour for anybody, in my opinion. Can't really think of anybody else on top of me. I'm sure there's a couple, but I mean, you're tied for the lead. You boom one down the fairway, middle of the fairway on 18. All you got to do is birdie to win it, or at least par to send it to a playoff. And what do, Ben Coles? You let the moment get to you. And this is what I try to talk about. Astrology doesn't guarantee shit. Okay, it doesn't guarantee anything. Astrology opens the doors. It says, "Hey, there's a chance for you to win this week. You want to win? Well, you got to go out and shoot the shots and make the putts and do everything you got to do." And astrology affects our emotions, in my opinion. And when you're Ben Coles standing over that ball, it was like 175 yards out, like you're thinking, just get this on the green at least. So like, yeah, have a try at birdie, but like at least we'll get into a playoff and take our chances there. And what does this guy do? God bless his heart. I'm sure he's a great guy. He seems like a really great guy. He had a good response afterward. But what does he do? He hits it and shanks it and hooks it straight left lands on the green, but bounces off and lands in the water. And that's pretty much it. He has to hole out to tie to go to a playoff. And the odds of that were just insanely not going to happen. So I couldn't help but feel bad for the guy. I mean, obviously I had his ticket to win. This happens. What can you do? But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, let's look at his chart. Okay, Ben Coles, last week again, it was a Pisces moon to finish. So I was really after Pisces and Geminis. Ben Coles has a Pisces sun in midheaven. So like this was his career day with a Gemini rising, 10th house of career. Pisces moon lights up his Gemini ascendant. Aquarius moon and Mercury was great for the first 2 days. Capricorn, Venus, and Mars was fine. Cancer, Jupiter, like he had a great chart. I thought he had the chart to win, better than Chris Gotterup's for sure. That being said, a perfect chart doesn't mean shit. You have to go out there and hit the shot and make the putts, and he didn't. And this is something like I don't really know if it's more about. Well, let's say this. Let's just say he's not the first Pisces placement to screw up a W or to like slip up on an opportunity to take advantage of winning a huge tournament, a life-changing tournament, right? Pisces are the last sign of the zodiac. They're the 12th sign, right? Which means they have a little bit of every sign in them because everything that comes before them, like they're like known as like the wisest or like the old souls or like they can get along with anybody, right? Because there's a little bit of every sign in Pisces, right? But Pisces are known to like slip up, like they're the fish. They're like these two fishes, and what fish are slippery. Like I've seen this in sports where Pisces slip up and sometimes don't have the mental edge to get over the line. Now that doesn't mean like all Pisces can't ever win, ever. Because I mean, some of the greatest athletes of our time have like Stephen Curry, greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He's a Pisces. Trying to think who else. There's a lot of like, if I really like researched it, there's a lot of people who are great athletes who have Pisces in their chart. That being said, this is the human part where like you have to overcome these mental lapses or these like times where you don't feel confident. Like those Pisces placements who can get over that end up becoming unstoppable. So that being said, is Ben Coles going to ever win a tournament? I really think he will at one point. And honestly, he could do it before the end of the year or in the fall or something like that. One of those tournaments. He will win a tournament, but unfortunately, he had to go through this. He had to get this scar tissue to like get him over the edge for the next time he's in this position. And a guy like Chris Gotterup, who literally was like, what was he? It was like 6 back to start the day, goes 9 under or 8 under, goes crazy and wins it kind of by luck. I mean, I don't want to say luck because he did have to go 8 under. But like Ben Coles lost that, in my opinion. Like Ben Coles had full control of that and he lost it. And he 3-putted like another hole like on the back 9 that just really ruined it. And then he bounced back with a birdie and then he just couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So that was really disappointing. That would have been a huge plus 8,200 hit if he just got the job done. I would have been okay if he got to the playoff and then lost. Like it's just the way he lost by just hitting it into the water and just gifting it to Gotterup. Like that, I'm still a little bitter about that. But like I said, it's you have to be the one to hit the shots in the end, and make it happen for yourself. Astrology just kind of says, here's the energy you might need to go out and win one, but that's all we're doing for you. So Ben Coles has had a great month and a half of golf. I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon. Like I said, I do believe he will win at some point pretty close in the future, in my opinion. So that being said, let's talk about Chris Gotterup. Chris Gotterup is a Cancer Sun, Libra Moon, Leo Mercury, Aquarius Midheaven, Venus Virgo, Scorpio Mars, Taurus Jupiter, and Rising. Now, he didn't do much the first few days. He was kind of whatever, but he's a Taurus Jupiter and Rising, and that was lit up career-wise by the Aquarius Moon to start the tournament. It is Cancer season. He's a Libra Moon. The 10th house career for Libra is Cancer, so we're like in his career time. This makes a lot of sense. He's got a Leo Mercury. There's 2 Leo placements right now in Venus and Jupiter. His Aquarius midheaven carried him through the first 2 days and really the last 2 days, I guess, is Venus Virgo Venus. That makes a lot of sense because Mars is in Gemini right now. And I talked about Virgos last week. Mars and Gemini lights up Virgo's 10th house of career, and he's a Scorpio Mars. Okay, like I said, Leo, there's 2 Leo placements. Leo lights up Scorpio's 10th house of career. So looking at it, Chris Goddard had a lot of career stuff in there. The Pisces moon kind of threw me off when I was considering Goddard over, before I took my picks last week. I didn't see anything that was going to like massively say, yes, this is his time, but he does have a lot of water in his chart. And, with the outer planets of a lot of Leo, a lot of Virgo, Gemini right now, and some Cancer, like it just makes a lot of sense that, he was the last man standing after going out and having a great Sunday. So props to him. And then for the DP World Tour, I know I'm spending a little too much time on this. I'm moving on. Michael Hollick won the DP World Tour. Have you guys ever heard of him? Because I haven't. I've never heard of Michael Hollick before, but now I have. I don't have his rising or midheaven, but he's a Taurus Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Gemini, Mercury, and Mars, Aries, Venus, and Jupiter. So Taurus Sun got lit up career-wise by the Aquarius Moon to start the tournament. Gemini, Mercury, and Mars, that was the career sign I was going after with the Pisces Moon over the weekend. And also Mars is in Gemini currently, and that is his Gemini Mars placement. Aries, Venus, and Jupiter goes great with Leo, Venus, and Leo, Jupiter. So that makes a lot of sense. Also, his Sag Moon goes great with all the Leo stuff right now. So I didn't watch it, but I just saw he ended up winning it. The DP World Tour continues to be unpredictable. So we're just going to have to keep pushing through, man, going for the next few weeks or so. And then lastly, Padraig Harrington won the U.S. Senior Open for the back-to-back years in a row. Virgo, Sun, and Venus, Capricorn, Moon, Scorpio, Rising, and Jupiter, Leo, Mercury, and Midheaven, Aquarius, Mars. Again, nothing crazy that goes with the Pisces, but Virgo, Sun, and Venus is getting lit up career-wise by the Mars and Gemini right now. Aqua Mars, Aquarius Mars got lit up by the Aquarius Moon for the first 2 days. He's a Leo, Mercury, and Midheaven. There's 2 Leo placements happening. Scorpio, Rising, and Jupiter. There's 2 Leo placements happening, lighting up his career sign for that. Capricorn Moon goes great with Aquarius and Pisces. Yeah, and he just came out and proved that he's still one of the best senior golfers. I thought Stuart Sink was going to do it. I thought Zach Johnson would have definitely won it if he played it instead of the John Deere last week. But we also, speaking of Zach Johnson, that was the only thing I did get on the PGA Tour was Zach Johnson top 30 at plus 320. So thank you, Zach Johnson, for showing up and helping me out a little bit, I guess, even though there really wasn't much. So, all right, that's enough of that. Let's move on. I spent way too long on that. We're already 18 minutes into this. Let's talk about this week's transits really quickly, and then we're going to get into our tournaments, and we're going to try to get out of here in the next 45 minutes or less. That's my goal. This week, the Sun and Mercury are still in Cancer, Mars is still in Gemini, and Jupiter is in Leo. Venus is still in Leo as of now, but on Thursday, right, the start of our tournaments, although most of them will be starting Wednesday night, but it doesn't matter. Venus shifts into Virgo on Thursday. So what does that mean? That means that Virgos are going to have an even bigger boost for the next, 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so, because Mars is in Gemini, lighting up Virgo's career house. So if you got Virgo in your chart or Sagittarius, Virgo lights up Sagittarius 10th house of career. So watch out for some Sagittariuses in the next coming weeks, especially at the Open, which I'm very excited about. I'm already looking ahead of my picks, and we're looking pretty good. So that being said, the moon travels through Taurus. It'll be there Wednesday afternoon or so. So at the start of all of our tournaments, it's going to be Taurus Wednesday to Friday at 6:42 p.m. Eastern. So they're going to be well done with the first 2 rounds. The LPGA and the Scottish Open. The ISCO they're probably finishing up their second round by that point. Yeah, they should definitely be wrapping up by that point. So Friday at 6:42 p.m. Eastern, the moon will hit Gemini for the rest of the weekend, pretty much. I think it goes into Cancer like Sunday evening, but every tournament should be done by then. So basically, Taurus to Gemini is the moon transits we're after. So this is a big career week for Libra because all the Cancer still lights up Libra, and also the Gemini moon over the weekend is a fellow air sign. It goes great with Gemini. Sagittarius is another sign I'm kind of keeping an eye on because Venus is now in Virgo. Also, there's a lot of Leo in the sky, and that goes great with Sag. Cancer, because it is Cancer season right now. And then Gemini and Taurus, obviously, because they both get a visit from the moon this week in their signs. And also Mars is in Gemini. So Geminis really have a good boost. But probably the most important two placements I'm after this week are Leos and Virgos, because the Taurus moon will light up Leo's 10th house of career on top of all of the Leo placements happening right now. It's really good for a Leo placement. And then Virgo, not only do they have Mars in Gemini right now to light up their 10th house of career, but they get the moon in Gemini to finish our tournament. And Venus is in Virgo starting Thursday. So I fully believe whoever wins this week should have some sort of Leo or Virgo or Gemini, Libra, somewhere in there in their chart. But Sag, Cancer, Taurus, also heavily considerations for this week. Okay. So now let's get into the picks. We're going to start with, we're going to combine Champions Tour with the Corn Fairy Tour because I only have one Corn Fairy pick. So let's start with the Corn Fairy because this is going to be the easiest one. Before I even looked at the odds, I looked at the guy I was hoping was playing, and he is playing in the Corn Fairy Tour this week, and I'm pretty confident that he's going to win. What is going on? Doesn't matter. Blades Brown is the favorite. Well, he's like tied as the favorite with Icorn, I think. He's plus 1,100. He has a Gemini Sun and Mercury. He's a Leo Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven and Venus, Aries Mars, Sagittarius Jupiter. Now, hear me out. Blades Brown is going to win before this year is up, whether it's on the Corn Fairy or the PGA. And I think he's going to win on the Corn Fairy. I think this is the week he's going to win. I am single bulleting Blades Brown, mainly because I didn't want to spend time to go dig up all the other players and see, but mostly because we've all been aware of Blades playing this whole year. He's played really consistent, really well. And it's just a matter of time until he gets that W. So Gemini, Sun, and Mercury, it's perfect. Mars is in Gemini, lighting all that up. And then he gets this Gemini moon over the weekend. His Leo moon will get lit up career-wise by the Taurus moon to start the tournament on top of Leo and Venus. I'm sorry, Leo's in Jupiter right now. Venus does shift into Virgo on Thursday. Which is good because he's a Sagittarius Jupiter. Virgo lights up Sagittarius 10th house of career. He's an Aries Mars, which is fine with Taurus and Gemini and all the Leo happening right now. He's a Libra rising, which is his career time, and he's a Cancer midheaven and Venus. Pretty good chart. If I'm single bulleting Blades Brown, I got no worries if he loses, but I'm happy to come out on a limb and say, I think this is Blades Brown's week. I think this is the week he gets it done. Okay. So let's see how that goes. Okay. And then for the Champions Tour, if I have it anywhere, it's down here. Pretty quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. I'm always kind of whatever about the Champions Tour. It's either, I don't know what I'm trying to say about the Champions Tour. I feel like the winners are kind of always a little bit hit or miss every week, but well, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't hit one in a minute on the Champions Tour, so let's change that this week. Now, the favorite, Stewart Cink or Zach Johnson. Stewart's like plus 300, Zach Johnson's plus 450. Stewart Cink has a great chart this week. He's Leo rising, Taurus, midheaven with a ton of Gemini. I think is some Pisces, like a Pisces Mars. But I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to go for Zach Johnson at plus 450. He's going to be kind of my hedge guy. I like the way he played last week. I think he's going to got some confidence from that. He's a Pisces sun in midheaven, which obviously isn't great with the Gemini, but he's a Capricorn moon, which is great with the Taurus moon over the week, the first 2 days, and then Gemini rising in Mars. That's what I love. So he does have the Gemini placements we're looking for, especially the Gemini Mars, which is where Mars currently is in Gemini. He's in Aquarius, Mercury, and Venus. That scares me with the Taurus, but he's in Aries, Jupiter. Let's just say this. If he can get through the first 2 days and he's 5 or less back going into the weekend, I think Zach Johnson is very live. So I like that a little better than Stewart Cink. I think Stewart Cink's slowing down a little bit. I think Stewart Cink's Mars is in Pisces, and Mars is currently in Gemini, and Pisces and Gemini they don't love each other in that sense. So I think there's a little something going on with Stewart Cink, but if he wins, whatever. I also like Ernie Els at plus 1,600. He is a Libra Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter, Capricorn Moon and Mars, Aquarius Rising, Scorpio Midheaven, Virgo Venus. So he has the Virgo Venus, which is literally where Venus is going to be on Thursday, getting lit up by the Gemini over the weekend. His Libra stuff is great. The Scorpio Midheaven is good because it's getting lit up by all the Leo happening right now, Jupiter and Leo. It's worth a look. I also like Soren Kjeldsen at plus 2,200, Taurus Sun, Leo Moon, Virgo Rising, Gemini, Midheaven, and Mercury, Cancer Venus, Mars Pisces, Jupiter Aries. Everything is great except that Mars Pisces. But he's got the Virgo, he's got the Gemini, Leo, and Taurus, so and Cancer. It's pretty good chart. Two more, Tommy Gainey plus 2,500, Leo Sun, Scorpio Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven, and Mercury. Wait, Mercury. Oh, sorry. Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven, Virgo, Venus, and Mercury, Mars, and Taurus. So really big. That's actually a really good chart, you guys. Taurus Mars getting lit up by the Leo, or sorry, by the Taurus Moon. His Leo gets lit up by the Taurus Moon. Scorpio's getting lit up by the Leo. Libra, Cancer, and then the Virgo is lit up by Venus and Virgo and Mars and Gemini and the Moon and Gemini. So Tommy Gainey, actually. Tommy Gainey might be the one. Watch out for him. Okay, and lastly, Bernhard Langer, plus 5,500. Virgo, Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Great. Libra, Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. Scorpio rising, Leo midheaven. I got zero complaints about that. He's getting older, and I don't know if he's got win potential as much anymore, but I'm willing to take a little risk on him this week, okay? Let's move on. Let's do the LPGA next, because that one's quicker than the other two. Okay. So let's see here, 2650 LPGA. It's like the Evian. What is it? Yeah, the Evian Championship. Why did I think the Amundi Evian Championship is the full name, but you can just call it the Evian Championship. Okay. Let's get to it. So, Nelly Corda. We got to talk about Nelly Corda. Is this a Nelly Corda week? It could be. It could be. She's got a lot of Leo. Or a couple Leo placements in her chart, getting lit up career-wise by the Taurus Moon to start the tournament. And then it's Gemini. Nothing in there career-wise for a Gemini with Nelly's chart. And her Jupiter is Pisces, which Pisces and Gemini don't love each other. But, she's like a Libra rising, and that does go great with the Gemini. I'm going to stay away from Nelly this week. I don't think she's going to win it. So she wins. We'll get bit in the butt, but whatever. I got better picks. I'm gonna start my card at Ronning Yin, plus 2,250. Libra Sun and Mercury, Gemini Moon, Aries Rising, Capricorn Midheaven, Scorpio Venus, Virgo Mars, Leo Jupiter. Ooh, Leo Jupiter, and that's where Jupiter is currently. Ronning Yin about to have a solid year. The Libra gets lit up by the Cancer. Her Gemini Moon is going to be there over the weekend. That's perfect. Aries Rising, Cap Midheaven is great with the Taurus. Scorpio Venus is lit up by Jupiter and Leo right now. Virgo Mars is lit up by Gemini Mars, and Virgo Venus is coming in. Leo Jupiter. I just love her chart. She's a great player too. And if she's anywhere in the mix, she's somebody I would have confidence in actually getting the job done. So I really like Ronning Yin. I'm also going to give it a go at Lydia Ko this week. I haven't really taken her at all, I think, so far this year. Maybe earlier in the year, but I feel like she's regressed a little bit. But I have a feeling she's going to pop up. 3,300. It's a good number for Lydia Ko, future Hall of Famer, or she already is in the Hall of Fame. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven, Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising, Virgo Mars, Aquarius Jupiter. Ton of Taurus. That's where the Moon's going to be for the start. Scorpio gets lit up by Leo and Jupiter. She is a Leo rising, gets lit up by the Taurus Moon. Virgo Mars gets lit up by Gemini. Aquarius Jupiter is fine with all of that. I think Lydia Ko will be in the mix come this weekend, okay? Let me just reset this real quick. We're back. Okay. So I just talked about Lydia Ko. Let's get into next. Hye Jin Choi. Plus 4,200. Virgo Sun, Capricorn Moon, Scorpio Rising and Mars, Leo Midheaven, Mercury and Venus, Jupiter Taurus. Solid chart. The Virgo Sun gets lit up by Venus and Virgo and the Gemini Moon over the weekend. Cap Moon, it goes great with the Taurus Moon. Her Jupiter is Taurus. Scorpio Rising and Mars gets lit up by Leo and Jupiter. And she's a Leo Midheaven, Mercury and Venus. So I really like Hye Jin Choi to Definitely be in the mix. Next up is Minji Lee at plus 4,400. Gemini, Sun, and Venus, Virgo, Moon, Leo, Rising, Taurus, Mercury, Mars, and Midheaven, Capricorn, Jupiter. Dude, I really think Minji Lee is going to have a week. Leo, Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, perfect. Not much else to say. I just think Minji Lee is in the mix. I wrote down Alim Kim plus 6,000, Libra, Sun, Mercury, and Venus. That's great with the Cancer. Aquarius Moon doesn't go great with Taurus, but hear me out. Sagittarius, Rising, and Jupiter lit up by Virgo and Venus. Her midheaven is Virgo, and her Mars is Scorpio. So Scorpio Mars gets lit up by Leo and Jupiter right now. Virgo midheaven gets lit up by the Gemini and Virgo Venus. It's a good chart. It's just that Aquarius Moon. She's got to get through the first 2 days, and then I'm going to be really confident about Alim Kim. All right, 3 more and then 3 long shots. Brooke Henderson's next up, 6,200. She had a good major last week or 2 weeks ago when Heyran Rio won. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury, Sag Moon, Scorpio Rising, and Mars, Libra Venus, Leo Midheaven, Aquarius Jupiter. Like I said, if you're Virgo, you're getting your Venus and Virgo this week with the Gemini. That's great. She's Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. Sag Moon gets lit up by Venus and Virgo. Scorpio Rising and Mars lit up by the Leo stuff. Libra Venus lit up by Cancer. Leo Midheaven, Aquarius Jupiter. Great freaking chart. I'm feeling good about the LPGA, actually. Next up, Jennifer Kupcho, plus 6,500. Taurus Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Leo Moon and Rising. Gemini Venus, Virgo Mars, Aquarius Jupiter. That's pretty much what you need this week. Gemini, Virgo, Taurus, and Leo. Aquarius, Jupiter's whatever. Kupcho's solid player, so watch out for her. Lastly, Jin Hee Im, plus 8,600. Gemini, Sun, and Rising. Taurus, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. Aries, Venus, Aquarius, Midheaven, Jupiter, Pisces. I don't love that Jupiter, Pisces, but I do love the rest of the Gemini, Sun, and Rising, and then a lot of Taurus in there. So she could definitely be in the mix. Okay, 3 long shots. I'm putting baby units on these, nothing crazy. Andrea Lee at plus 12,500. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Gemini, Moon, and Midheaven. Virgo, Rising. Cancer, Mars. Jupiter, Pisces. Another Jupiter, Pisces. But she's got the Gemini, Moon, and Midheaven. The Virgo, Rising. Cancer, Mars, Leo stuff. I really like Andrea Lee's chart. 2 more long shots. Lynn Grant, plus 16,000. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven. Virgo, Moon, and Rising. Cancer, Mercury. Leo, Venus. Libra, Mars. Aries, Jupiter. It's worth a look. She's got everything we're looking for. Don't know why she's priced so high. Maybe it's not a good course fit. But I like Lynn Grant this week. Okay, and lastly, Lauren Coughlin, plus 17,500. Our longest shot of the week. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Mercury. Virgo Rising, Taurus Midheaven, Venus Scorpio, Mars Cancer, Virgo Jupiter. Ooh, man, a lot of Virgo. The Taurus Midheaven, a lot of Libra, Venus Scorpio. She's got a lot of career stuff in her chart. Great golfer, too. Can definitely win big tournaments. Don't know why she's priced so high. Top 5, I'm going to go Ronning Yin at plus 390, and I'm going to go Brooke Henderson at plus 900. I could see both of those hitting. Top 10, Hyjin Choi at plus 305. Brooke Henderson at plus 405, Lydia Ko at plus 255, and Minji Lee at plus 330. I'm just looking for 2 of those. 2 of those to be in the top 10. That's all we're looking for. Top 20, Andrea Lee at plus 270 feels pretty much like a lock. And then Lynn Grant at plus 355 is worth a little bit of a risk. And then lastly, for first round leader, I'm going to go, this is like a Taurus Moon first round, right? So Leos will get the 10th house boost from career-wise. So Nelly Korda at plus 1,300. I could see her coming out and having a good round 1 and then kind of fading over the weekend. This is my hope. Miyu Yamashita at plus 3,600 has Capricorn and Leo in her chart. I didn't take her to win. I don't think she's going to win, but I could see her having a good start. Minji Lee at plus 4,900 with the Leo and the Virgo in her chart. Does she have Taurus in her chart too? She does. Taurus, Mercury, Mars, and Midheaven. So definitely Minji Lee is a really big first round leader play. Another girl I didn't talk about yet. 2 more. Hannah Green at plus 5,000 for first round leader. I don't think she's gonna win it because she's got like Pisces in her chart and stuff. But she's a Taurus Sun. And there's another Taurus in there, and she does have a Sag place. So I think it's Sag Moon. So Venus and Virgo on Thursday should light that up for her. Worth a little baby unit. Plus 5,000 for first round. Austin Kim at plus 5,900 also has Leo in her chart. I'm not going to look her chart up because I don't want to. But Austin Kim's like a younger golfer. I could see her coming out, having a good round one, and then maybe fading over the weekend. So yeah. And then Jennifer Kupcho at plus 6,000 with all that Taurus and Leo in her chart and Gemini. Karis Davidson at plus 8,600 also has Leo in her chart. So I wrote her down. And then Andrea Lee at plus 9,000 with all that Leo in her chart and Gemini and Virgo. And then lastly, because you take one, you have to take both of them. I'm taking both the EY sisters, Aki EY and Chizzy EY. Aki is plus 6,000 first round leader, and Chizzy is plus 6,800. They both have Taurus and Libra in their chart. And it's Cancer Taurus to start the tournament. So that's really good for both of them. We'll see. So Nelly, Yamashita, Minji Lee, Hannah Green, Austin Kim, Jennifer Kupcho, Karis Davidson, Andrea Lee, and the EY sisters are my first round leader plays for the LPGA. Now we're going to move on to the ISCO Championship. All right. This is a tough one, you week. This is a tough one. So, the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour are teaming up this week, and half of the best players on both tours are on the Scottish this week, and the bottom tier players are on the ISCO this week. Both should be really good tournaments. I'm really excited for both. And this is the week that pays off when you're like me, because I know a lot of people only bet on the PGA and they're not really fully aware of the DP World Tour guys, but I bet DP World Tour every single week. So a lot of these names are very familiar to me, and I have a lot of their charts already not memorized, but written down. So that being said, it's still a really tough week because there's a lot of good golfers and there's a lot of ways this could go. So let's just get into it. ISCO Championship. I think there's 144 players. So I try to keep the 10% or less. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13 guys, and then 2 long shots. I'm going to probably split my last unit up between them two. And there's 2 other guys that I'm going to keep my eye on. So let's get through them. First up, I'm starting my card at Christian Bezuidenhout, a plus 2,450. Taurus, Sun, and Midheaven, Leo, Moon, and Rising, Gemini, Mercury, and Venus, Aries, Mars, Scorpio, Jupiter. It's actually a very similar chart to Jennifer Kupcho, who I was just raving about. Taurus, Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, Jupiter is lit up by Leo and Jupiter right now. So Bezuidenhout's probably going to have a really big year starting for the next year, starting now. So why not start it off with a big W? Plus 2,450. He had a great week last week. I'm feeling good about Christian Bezuidenhout. Next up is a guy. I wish I had some noise or bell when I take a guy or player for the first time ever, because this is what's happening right now. William Mao. Never have taken him in my entire betting career. Plus 2,600. I looked him up. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. It's his career weekend. Sagittarius Moon, big time. It's like Brooke Henderson. Actually, a lot like Brooke Henderson. Scorpio rising and a Leo, Midheaven, and Mars. Libra, Venus, Gemini, Jupiter. Ooh, I got chills because you know why? Every single sign, Virgo, Sag, Scorpio, Leo, Libra, and Gemini are all the signs I'm after. Maybe not Scorpio. Did I write down Scorpio? No, but Scorpio still is a great pick this week. Long story short, William Mao doesn't have a bad placement in his chart. His Jupiter is Gemini. Venus is Libra. That's everything in his chart pretty much either has a first or a 10th house boost this week. And that's really the main theme we're going after. His moon is Sagittarius, gets lit up by the Virgo Venus coming in, and he's a Virgo Sun, Mercury, Scorpio rising, Leo, Midheaven, and Mars lit up by Leo and Jupiter right now, and the Taurus moon to start. Bro, William Mao might be the one. He might be the one this week, okay? Next up, Rico Hoey at plus 2,600, Virgo Sun and Midheaven, Cancer moon, Sag rising, and Jupiter, Libra, Midheaven, and Venus, Scorpio, Mars. Rico Hoey. He's let me down more than once before, but this is the kind of tournament he could definitely win. And if he can get through the first 2 days, I think he's going to definitely be a solid potential winner. Sag rising and Jupiter lit up by the Virgo Venus coming in on Thursday. His Sun and Midheaven is Virgo, Cancer moon. We're in Cancer season right now. Libra, Mercury, Venus. lit up career-wise by Cancer, and Scorpio Mars lit up by Leo and Jupiter. So love me some Rico Hoey this week. Let's see what happens. I also wrote down Stefan Jaeger, plus 2,800. We were on him last week. And he had a pretty decent week until the weekend. He kind of petered out. Gemini Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and midheaven. So a lot of Gemini in that chart when that moon comes in over the weekend. Aries Moon, Virgo rising, Taurus Mercury, Cancer Mars. Not going to spend too much time on him, but he has a good chart and he's a solid golfer and he could win this tournament. I also like Taylor Pendrith, plus 3,100. Gemini Sun and midheaven, Capricorn Moon, Virgo rising, Taurus Mercury, Cancer Venus, Leo Mars, and Jupiter. Gemini, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, Leo. That's like 5 of the 7 signs we're after. Taylor Pendrith, I think, is going to be in the mix. Excuse me. Next up is Stephen Fisk, plus 3,100. Aries Sun, Virgo Moon and Mars, Taurus rising and Mercury and Venus, Aquarius midheaven and Jupiter. Just solid, but nothing that goes great with like the Cancer stuff right now. But he has enough in there to if he were to win, I wouldn't be surprised. So I have to write him down, but he's not my favorite of these picks. Next up is a young gun, Ben James, who's a month or 2 into his career so far, plus 3,900. Gemini Sun, Moon, and midheaven, Virgo rising, Taurus, Mercury and Venus, Aquarius, Mars, Leo, Jupiter. Another Leo Jupiter guy about to have a great year with Jupiter and Leo. Aquarius Mars is good with Gemini Mars right now, but it doesn't go great with the Taurus, but he is a Taurus, Mercury and Venus to get through the Taurus moon first 2 days. And then once he does, hopefully he makes the cut and he's somewhere in the mix, 5 or less back or in the lead. Gemini Sun, Moon, and midheaven and Virgo rising should take him home. I really like Ben James this week. I also like Zach Blair, who had a decent week last week, plus 4,000. Leo Sun, Venus, and Jupiter, Virgo Moon and Mercury, Libra rising, Cancer, midheaven, Taurus, Mars. The Moon and Taurus should light him up big time for the first 2 days. He's one of my first round leader guys. We'll get to that in a minute. Then he's got the Virgo Moon and Mercury to get lit up career-wise by the Gemini on top of Venus being in Virgo on Thursday. Libra rising, it's his career month. Cancer midheaven, it's his career month. Taurus Mars, great chart. I think Zach Blair has a better chance to win this week than he did last week. Another guy we were on last week, Lee Hodges. Actually, sorry, let me reframe that. He was originally on my list last week, and then I took him off before I recorded. But then, after halfway through Friday, if you're on the Reddit, I posted on Reddit that I was going to take him, and I added him at plus 1,400 because he had a lot of Gemini in his chart that would be lit up by the Pisces over the weekend. And then he ended up finishing in the top 5. So it wasn't a bad play, but another guy who had a good week last week that I think can carry it into this week. Gemini, Sun, midheaven, Mercury, and Venus, Capricorn Moon, Virgo rising, and Mars, Sagittarius, Jupiter. Ooh, baby. So the Virgo and Venus on Thursday is going to light up his Sagittarius, Jupiter's career house. He is a Virgo rising in Mars, lit up by the Gemini in Mars right now, and then all the Gemini in his chart. Dude, Lee Hodges, again, has a really good look this week. I'm big on him at plus 4,600. Okay. Next up, the other guy that was in the mix last week, I think is going to keep it rolling. Lucas Glover, plus 5,000. Welcome back to contention, Lucas Glover, because I think he's found it. Scorpio Sun in midheaven, he's getting lit up career-wise by the Leo and Jupiter right now. It's Capricorn rising is going to go great with the Taurus moon. Virgo Moon and Jupiter is great with everything this week. Sagittarius, Mercury, and Venus gets lit up by Venus and Virgo, and his Mars is Leo. Dude, Lucas Glover, I think, will definitely be in the mix again, so watch out. 3 more. Tom Hoagie, plus 6,700. I think he played pretty well last week. Gemini Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. A lot of Gemini. Aquarius Moon, I don't love that. But he's a Leo rising and he's a Taurus midheaven. That's how he gets through his Aquarius moon when the Taurus moon comes in. And his Mars is Cancer, which is great. Just a lot of good stuff in that chart. A lot of career stuff right now. Worth a look. Next up is Trace Crow, plus 7,800. Libra Sun and Mercury. Virgo Moon and Venus. Gemini rising, Taurus midheaven, Leo Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. Libra, Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, Leo, everything in that chart is amazing for this week. So I really like Trace Crow. And then lastly, David Lipsky at plus 8,600. I'm going to go for it. Cancer Sun, Mercury and midheaven, Libra rising, Leo Moon, Gemini Venus, Aries Mars, Taurus Jupiter. So when the moon goes into Gemini, his Venus and Gemini will be lit up. And then the Taurus moon is going to light up his Leo moon's 10th house of career. He's got Cancer and Libra. It's worth a look. Not as confident in him as like the other guys I mentioned, but plus 8,600, it's worth a look. Okay, now my long shots. So I'm going to take these first two, and then the other two I'm going to keep my eye on. But I really like this guy from the DP World Tour, Brandon Robinson Thomas, plus 13,500. Virgo, Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Cancer moon, Pisces midheaven, Leo Mercury, Gemini Mars. Mars again is in Gemini right now. Leo's in Jupiter, and that's his Mercury sign, and all that Virgo. So watch out for Brandon Robinson Thomas. I don't know if he could win it, but he could definitely be in the top 20 or something like that. Maybe top 30. Yeah, I got him for top 30. Okay, and then lastly, Bryce Garnett, plus 14,000. Listen to this. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Mercury, Taurus rising, Aquarius midheaven, Leo, Venus, and Mars, Sagittarius, Jupiter. You guys, this is the chart. Ton of Virgo. Great, because Venus is going to be in Virgo on Thursday, and the Gemini moon lights up all the Virgos' 10th house of career. Taurus rising, which is the moon is going to be in Taurus over the first 2 days. Aquarius midheaven is kind of a little iffy, but he's a Venus and Mars is Leo. That's really good with the Taurus, and then his Jupiter is Sagittarius, which gets lit up by Virgo and Venus. So I think Bryce Garnett could make a little bit of a flyer pick this week. Okay, and the last two guys I'm going to keep my eye on. I'm not going to put anything on him yet. Cameron Champ plus 17,500. Ton of Gemini in that chart. Virgo rising and Mars in the Sagittarius Jupiter. And then Sebastian Soderberg at plus 20,000. Soderberg, I was on him. I don't know if you guys can remember this, bravo to you, but 2 years ago, maybe, I don't remember. It was like that DP World Tour event where it's like some of the LPGA girls and the DP World Tour guys. I think it was the Scandinavian thing, because that's why Lynn Grant won this tournament, but Sebastian Soderberg had I think he was up 7 or something going into the final round. Like all he had to do was just go par. And he literally lost. He just crumbled the last back 9. And on the last hole, he just had to par it, I think, to still win. He bogeyed or something like that. Lynn Grant ended up winning. She felt horrible for him because they're both from Sweden. I want to say Sweden. I think it was Sweden. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, he just had the collapse of a lifetime. So ever since then, I haven't really seen him, but he's been popping up lately. I've been keeping an eye on him on the DP World Tour. Virgo, Sun, Mercury, and Venus, Libra, Moon, Cancer, Rising, Aries, Midheaven, Gemini, Mars, and a Leo, Jupiter. So it's worth to keep an eye on him. So if he comes out strong, we'll see how that goes. All right, man, it's 47 minutes already. We got to move this on, guys. Top 5 for the ISCO. I'm going William Mount plus 620 and Zach Blair plus 860. Hopefully one of those guys hits. Top 10, we're going Seabez at plus 280. We're going Hoey at plus 310. Stephen Fisk at plus 345. Zach Blair plus 400. Hopefully 2 of those hit. Top 20, Lee Hodges plus 210. Lucas Glover plus 220. Tom Hoagie plus 285. Trace Crow plus 325. I think all 4 of those are going to hit. Well, we'll see. Top 30, Brandon Robinson Thomas plus 220, who I just talked about, and Steven Soderberg plus 295. It's worth a risk for me. Head-to-head matchup parlay. Putting all these matchups together and just parlaying them, and they all have to hit. Comes out to plus 2,000. That's pretty modest. I'm taking Hoagie over Ramey. I'm taking Zach Blair over Mackenzie Hughes. Rico Hoey over Ben Coles. William Mao over Bo Hostler. Christian Bezainhout over Davis Thompson. Put it all together, it's plus 2,000. My first round leader picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish, something like that. Taurus Moon Day, remember. So Leos get the big boost or Tauruses get a good boost. Well, Christian Bezainhout has both. Plus 4,400, first round leader. William Mao, plus 4,700, first round leader. Because he's got Virgo, Leo, and Leo in his chart. That's what we're looking for. Taylor Pendrith plus 4,900, Capricorn and Leo in that chart. Zach Blair 5,700, Leo, Taurus, and Virgo in that chart. Tom Hoagie plus 6,600, Leo and Taurus in that chart. Glover plus 6,800, Leo and Virgo in that chart. Vince Whaley plus 6,900. Haven't talked about him. Pisces and Leo. So Cancer and Taurus, that's a good combination for Whaley to come out strong round 1. Also taking Chad Ramey, who I'm fading in the matchup parlay, but come out strong day 1. Chad Ramey is known to do that, plus 7,000. A lot of Leo and Libra in that chart. David Lipsky, plus 8,000 first round leader, Leo and Cancer and Virgo. Does he have Virgo on that chart? No, but Cancer, Leo, Libra, Aries. Oh, and a Taurus Jupiter. So David Lipsky actually big time. Watch out for Lipsky, plus 8,000. Adam Svensson, haven't talked about him, plus 8,600. Capricorn and Leo in that chart. He is more of a first-round leader guy than anything. Romain Langasque, the French golfer from the DP World Tour, plus 9,400. A lot of Taurus and Leo in his chart. Kiridak Affy Barnrat, plus 11,500. A lot of Leo in his chart as well. And then Bryce Garnett, plus 11,500. Virgo, Leo, and Taurus in that chart as well. So I go baby units on the first round leaders. If you've watched the show, you know I go real babyish on the first round leaders. Those are the hardest bets to hit in the freaking world, okay? So I'm not going to repeat my picks because we got to keep it moving. So we're moving on to the main event, the Scottish Open. There we go. Okay. So let's get into the Scottish Open. All right, you guys, we got to talk about Scottie Scheffler. I'm so sorry to the person who comments and has told me that this is a bad year for Scottie from Chinese astrology perspective. I should know your username by now. You've commented so many times, but shout out to you. I think you're onto something here. And you're the only reason why I'm debating on not taking Scottie this week. Because if there was a week to take Scottie, I think of the whole year, it would be this week. This is pretty much the same transits as last year's Open when Scottie won. And I always talk about if there's Gemini if there's more, especially more than one Gemini placement in the sky, which there will be this week, then you kind of have to take Scottie. I'm a little bit up in the air. If I do take Scottie, thankfully he's like plus 490 or plus 500. He keeps kind of going back and forth. It's way better than like plus 285 or plus 250. Like, well, so what I'm trying to say is I think I'm going to take Scottie as my hedge this week. So if he wins, I'm going to try to make it to that. Like if he wins, I'll put enough on him to kind of go even for the week if nothing else hits. At least in the Scottish Open. I'm not counting all the other tournaments. But Scottie at plus 490, plus 500 is pretty good. And I know he's like, it's like the win luck. Like he's had a good year, but like the win luck hasn't been there. That being said, he's a Cancer sun, Virgo moon and rising. So Venus is going to be in Virgo this week, and Mars is in Gemini, lighting up all that Virgo. And then his midheaven, Mercury, Venus, and Mars is Gemini. And the moon in Gemini and Mars in Gemini are going to be lighting up all of that. Is Capricorn's Jupiter, that's fine. I'm not going to say it's a lock for him. And I'm not saying, I'll say this. I think Scottie for sure will be in the top 5. Is he going to win? I don't know. There's been so many times where he could have won this year and he just didn't, right? He got beaten 2 different playoffs one by Victor Hovland recently and then one by Fitzpatrick earlier in the year. And we were on Scottie that week. So it's like, man, it's like, what can Scottie do more than just ask for a little bit of luck to win it? Like kind of how Chris Goddard lucked out a win yet last week after a kind of a mid first 3 days and then a crazy Sunday. So I think I talked myself into taking Scottie at least as a hedge. If he doesn't hit, it's fine, whatever. But this is the one week I do believe Scottie could win. I don't think he's going to win the Open. I looked ahead. I don't think he's going to. I think Wyndham Clark is one of my main guys for next week, and we'll talk about that with LCT next week. But I'm going to take Scottie this week. I think Scottie's got a better chance to win this week than he does next week because I'm staying away from him completely next week. But if he's going to win out in Europe, I think it would be this week. So I'm going to use him as my hedge. Now, that being said, let's move on. Matt Fitzpatrick is like really one of my main guys. Plus 2,100. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. Cancer, Moon, and Mars. Scorpio, Rising, and Jupiter. Leo, Midheaven, Libra, Venus. Every sign we're looking for. Virgo, Cancer, Scorpio, Leo, and Libra. Fitzy's had a great year. He was already won under a Gemini moon before this year when he beat Scottie. So I kind of have to go right back to him, okay? And these are all in the regular markets. I'm not going in the without Scottie markets or the without like the top 5 market guys or whatever. So Scottie's my hedge. Fitzy's my first main play. And then Tyrrell Hatton's next up plus 3,300. Libra Sun, Mercury and Mars, Capricorn Moon, Sagittarius Rising, Virgo Midheaven, Venus and Jupiter. There it is. Tarot plays pretty well, I think, on links. Sag Rising, all that Virgo by Virgo and Venus coming in. Libra lit up by all the Cancer. Cap Moon gets him through the Taurus Moon. I think Tyrrell Hatton's very live to win and be in contention. Also like Bobby Mack plus 3,700. I think you just got to take Bobby Mack when you're out in Europe. Leo Sun, Aries Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven and Mars, Virgo Mercury, Gemini Venus, Capricorn Jupiter. You know this tournament means a lot to him because he is Scottish. He won it before. Good chart. Gemini Venus, Virgo Mercury pretty much has everything we're looking for. So I really like Bobby Mack. And I will take this quick opportunity because I know some of you skip it to this part and watch only this part, and I completely understand and I don't blame you. But please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube. We are growing. We've hit the 100 mark, and I just want to keep it going. So if you watch this every week and you're just lurking, you don't subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. It just takes you 2 seconds, and I really appreciate it. You'll get notified immediately when I post my videos every single week. Also, Spotify and Apple, hit me up there. 5-star ratings if you can. And back to the picks. So Bobby Mack and then Victor Hovland is next up, plus 3,800. Virgo, Sun and Mercury, Aries Moon, Scorpio Rising and Venus and Mars, Leo Midheaven, Aquarius Jupiter. The Leo Midheaven is great with the Taurus, and then the Gemini will light up his Virgo. Scorpio gets lit up by the Leo right now. Aries Moon, that Aries Moon's fine. He just came off a W, so let's see if we can keep it going. Next up is Siwoo Kim. I talk about Siwoo and Scotty. Very similar charts. You take one, you kind of have to take the other. He's plus 5,200. Cancer, Sun and Moon. Virgo, Rising and Mars. Gemini, Midheaven, Mercury and Venus. Sagittarius, Jupiter. He might have a big boost this week because his Jupiter is Sag. That's different than Scotty's. Virgo and Venus should light that up. He's a Virgo, Rising and Mars. A lot of Gemini, Cancer. He needs to get through the first 2 days, the Taurus Moon, and then I think Siwoo Kim will be very live to potentially go out and win. I'm gonna take a risk on this next guy. He's such a hit or a miss because he's like he'll come out and just completely miss the cut, or he'll come out and he'll be in contention. There's no in between. JJ Spawn plus 6,700. Leo Sun, Venus, Midheaven, and Jupiter. Scorpio Rising, Virgo Moon and Mercury, Taurus Mars. I don't know if he's a great links player. I don't remember if he did anything last year over in Europe, like that was notable. But he's got the Taurus Mars, and also the Taurus Moon will light up all the Leonis chart, and he's got the Virgo Moon and Mercury. He won the U.S. Open under a Gemini Sun, so Gemini is his career sign. I think JJ Spawn, I'm going to take a risk. We'll see how it goes. I don't really have much to say. Plus 6,700. Next up is Harris English, plus 7,000. Again, I'm taking him because he finished second, I think, behind Scotty at the Open last year. Leo Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, Aries Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven, Gemini Jupiter. So he does have a Gemini placement in there. All that Leo gets lit up by the Taurus for the first 2 days. Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven. It is his career month. I think Harris English is sneaky this week, so watch out. I'm also going to go after Adam Scott, who I've probably only taken 3 times before. Plus 6,800. Cancer Sun and Mercury, Virgo Moon and Jupiter, Scorpio Rising, Leo Midheaven, Gemini Venus, Libra Mars. A lot of career stuff in there. And I do believe he was the one that barely lost to Bobby Mack at the Scottish a few years ago. And he was maybe in the mix at the Open last year or the US Open, or I forget. I don't know. I think Adam Scott has a good chart this week. Let's see what happens. Okay. And lastly, Tom Kim, plus 8,600. Gemini Sun, Mercury and Midheaven, Scorpio Moon, Virgo Rising, Leo Venus, Cancer Mars, and Jupiter. One sec. All right, we're back. Almost done, I promise. So just Tom Kim, a lot of Gemini, Scorpio, Virgo, Leo, Cancer. I'm kind of big on Tom Kim this week, and I know he plays well on links. So plus 8,600 is kind of generous for him, I think, at the way he's been playing. And the Leo Venus, the Virgo Rising is how he gets through the first 2 days, and then all that Gemini and the Virgo. I really like Tom Kim this week. Okay. Long shot slash live betting watch. I'm going to take 4 of these, but I'm going to put like baby units on these because I'm already kind of exposed, right, with this. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got 10 guys. There's like 150 something in this field. So it's below my number, but I guess these 4 guys I'm going to take, and then I'm going to keep my eye on the last 4 who I'll talk about. So first up, Ryan Gerard, plus 10,500. Leo, Sun, Aries, Moon, Virgo, Venus and Rising, Taurus, Jupiter, Gemini, Midheaven, Cancer, Mercury, Mars, Scorpio. This is more of like a gut play. He's won under a Gemini moon before. You know why I know that? Because I had Rico Hoey that week, and Rico Hoey lost to Ryan Gerard on the final day. I think it was like in Tahoe, the whatever tournament that is. If he was last year or 2 years ago, I think it was last year. So I know Gerard can play well under a Gemini placement. Scorpio Mars is fine. His Leo Sun gets lit up by the Taurus, and his Jupiter is Taurus, and he's got Virgo in there. So I think Ryan Gerard's kind of got what we're looking for. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, I really like this guy, Harry Hall, plus 11,500. Leo Sun, Virgo Moon, Mercury and Venus, Cancer Rising, Aries Midheaven, Libra Mars. A lot of Virgo. The Leo Sun is perfect. Mars and Libra, it's lit up by Cancer right now. He is a Cancer Rising. Aries Midheaven is fine. And he's a European, so he's got to have some touch around the greens on links. So we'll see. Okay, next up, Victor Perez. This is next year I'm really big on. Plus 13,000. Virgo, Sun, and Jupiter. Scorpio, Moon, and Rising. Leo, Mercury, and Midheaven. Libra, Venus. Gemini, Mars. That's where Mars is right now, Gemini. Vic Perez is kind of a sneaky pick. I feel really good about him. Virgo, Scorpio, Leo, Libra, and Gemini. We'll see what happens. Okay, lastly, but not least, my guy, Aldrich Potgieter. Plus 14,500. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Midheaven, Mars, and Jupiter. That is the biggest Virgo stellium of anybody I can think of. His Venus is Leo, and his rising sign is Sagittarius. Now, hear me out. Virgo goes into Venus. No, sorry. Venus goes into Virgo starting Thursday, right? That's going to light up his whole entire chart, all the Virgo, and then his rising is Sagittarius, which the 10th house of Sagittarius is Virgo. Is Leo Venus is lit up by the Taurus moon to start the 2 days, and also Leo and Jupiter, and all the Virgo gets lit up career-wise by the Gemini. The only thing that doesn't like go great with this chart is the Cancer Sun and Mercury, but Virgo and Cancer are 2 signs apart, and that's like pretty good. I don't know if he's going to win it, but like, dude, I think Potgieter is going to like definitely impress a lot more people than they're going to give him credit for this week and next week. Kind of on him next week too. We'll see. So yeah, and then the last 4 guys that I'm going to keep my eye on, and also these are like lower price DFS considerations if you're building lineups. Henny Duplessis, I've been on all year long on the DP World Tour. I think he played pretty well last week too. He's plus 15,500. Libra Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven, Capricorn Rising, and Jupiter, Scorpio Moon, Virgo Venus, Leo Mars. He's got a really solid chart. But, you know, he's going up against the big dogs. So that's kind of like the thing you got to consider when these DP World Tour guys are like coming out playing with the big dogs. They're either going to like show up and show out and say, I belong here, or they're going to crumble. I don't think there's really any in between. I'm also keeping my eye on Austin Smotherman, who I believe this is his first trip overseas to these tournaments, plus 31,000. He's a Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon and Rising, Gemini, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven, Aries, Mars, Jupiter, Scorpio. Really good chart, but I don't know how his form is. I haven't seen him play recently. And, you know, he's highly priced for a reason. So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on him, though. And then Adrian Moronk, plus 97,500. Gemini Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury, Libra Moon and Jupiter, Virgo Rising, Aries, Venus, Mars, and Leo. Moronk's a good golfer. He's very inconsistent, but I think he played decent recently. A lot of Gemini, Libra, Virgo, Leo, Mars. It's a good chart, and it's just worth keeping an eye on. If he comes out and has a good halfway through round 1, I might throw a little something on him because he's 97,500. So that won't drop down much after a good round 1. Darius Van Driel is the last guy I'm going to keep my eye on. Plus 150 freaking thousand. Yeah, I read that right. Gemini Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Leo Rising, Taurus Moon, Mercury, and Midheaven, and a Cancer Mars. So it's a good chart. It's everything we're going after. He's another kind of inconsistent player, but if it's your week, it's your week. So I got to keep my eye on him, okay? All right, I'm not repeating picks because I just want to get out of here. We're over an hour, and I'm literally 3 minutes away from being done. Okay. Top 5. Matt Fitzpatrick plus 470. Book it. Tyrrell Hatton plus 730. And a little parlay. Scotty Scheffler and Matt Fitzpatrick both to be in the top 5 plus 950. Like I said, they both were in the playoff. The last time there was a Gemini moon placement over on Sunday. So why not take them both to be in the top 5 plus 950? Top 10. Matt Fitzpatrick plus 225. Tyrrell Hatton plus 345. Bobby Mack plus 380. Hovland plus 380. And a nice little 2-man parlay. Matt Fitzpatrick and Victor Hovland both to be in the top 10 at plus 1,050. I like it. Top 20. Spawn plus 245. Harry Hall plus 365. Henny Duplessis plus 445. That's my little, not a long shot, but Henny Duplessis could sneak in the top 20. I could see it happening. He's a good DP World Tour player. Top 30. Pock Eater plus 230. Darius Van Driel plus 750. That's the long shot play. Like I said, if it's his week, it's his week. Top 30 would be amazing at plus 750 for Darius Van Driel. Head-to-head parlay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs this week. Like I said, these don't hit very often, but plus 9,000 it comes out to. Worth putting 1 unit on it. Put a baby unit on it if you want. Tom Kim over Bud Colley. Victor Hovland over Minwoo Lee. Adam Scott over Aaron Rai. That's going to be a risky one because Aaron Rai has won, I believe, at this course before. Rory over Xander. Spawn over Lowry. Harris English over Jake Knapp. Siwoo Kim over Alex Fitzpatrick. And Scotty Scheffler over John Rahm. Put it all together. Plus 9,000 is what it comes out to. First round leader. I got a handful here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sue me. I don't care. Baby units, baby units, baby units. Taurus moon start. So Leos and Tauruses get a really big start, I think, for the first round. Well, Rory McIlroy has both Leo and Taurus in his chart. Plus 2,350. Great number for first round leader. I could see it happening. Also, Rory could definitely win this tournament, guys. Like I just can't get to it just because I just can't. Matt Fitzpatrick plus 4,000, all that Leo and Virgo in his chart. Ludwig Aubert plus 3,600 has Leo and Virgo in his chart. Bobby Mack plus 4,900, Leo in his chart. Adam Scott plus 6,800, Leo and Virgo in his chart. Spawn 7,000, Leo and Taurus and Virgo in his chart. English plus 7,400, ton of Leo in English's chart. Watch out for English first round leader. Pock Eater plus 8,600 has that Leo Venus and all that Virgo to go with the Taurus moon. Gerard plus 8,800, all that Leo in his chart. I think he has Taurus in there as well. Do I have that correct? Taurus, Jupiter. Yeah, actually, that's really good. Jupiter on the first round where the moon is a really good play. Harry Hall plus 9,000, all that Leo and Virgo in his chart. Victor Perez plus 9,800 with all that Leo and Virgo in his chart. Daniel Hillier plus 10,000. Haven't talked about him. Does have Leo and Virgo in his chart. I just don't think he can win this tournament because of the names that are in this tournament. And then lastly, Darius Van Driel plus 31,000 for first round leader. So it's a big old number, but a lot of Leo and Taurus, a lot of Taurus in his chart. Okay. Not going to repeat my first round leaders. Trying to get out of here. Top rest of the world. Siwoo Kim at plus 710 and Adam Scott plus 920. It's got to be one of those two guys. Then lastly, but not least, top continental European. Give me Victor Hovland at plus 940 to beat out the rest of those guys. All right. And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Thank you for listening. Let's keep an eye out for next week. If you're here from Reddit, we're going to do another collab episode with LCT. I'm not entirely sure. We're trying to coordinate when we're going to record it. But it should be out by Monday night at the latest. Hopefully Sunday night is what I'm aiming for. So keep an eye out for that. I know the tournament starts early because they're on the other side of the world. So we're going to try to stay on top of that. One more time, please subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Give me 5 stars on Apple and Spotify especially, and follow me there if you haven't already, if you listen there. Stars and Pars podcast at gmail.com is where you can find me. Sponsorships, questions, whatever. TikTok, stars.and.pars.po. Make little 1-minute videos like on Wednesdays. And other than that, I know I keep saying it, but I'm really trying to I want to create a Discord so we can like have a little community to talk astrology and golf and just kind of keep updated throughout the tournaments every single week. Cause I don't really love posting on Reddit except for like my picks for the week or whatever. But maybe like a Discord is cool, is somewhere I can like keep you guys updated if I'm like adding somebody to the card or we're just feeling good about some of our picks we've already made. Okay. Other than that, that's it. I got to get going. This is the Stars and Pars podcast with your host, Evan Engel, the show where golf betting meets astrology. I appreciate you guys all for listening. Let's have a really great week. This is a good week of golf. I'm feeling pretty good about my picks. And yeah, we will see y'all next week for the Open. Take care, everybody. Have a good one and be safe. All right. See you guys later.